Welcome, Ron, to the Steven Skinner podcast this morning.
Yeah, I'm honored, actually.
That's awesome. We've been doing this a little bit now. We've had a few guests on. We try to release something here every week or so, and the goal of the whole Steven Skinner podcast, especially it's for Eastwood, for people that are doing things, making things happen, sort of the stories and the faces, and telling those stories. So, again, thanks for being on. Obviously, if someone does not know, you are with the American Legion here. Right down, it's been known for James and Nichols since I have been born. Tell me, what is your title to the American Legion currently? What is the main title that you have?
Okay, I am a Legionnaire, which means I'm a veteran that served during a time of war.
Appreciate your service, too.
Oh, no, in my honor, I had a great career. I retired at 20 years. I'm the adjutant. So as a Legionnaire, we have the veteran side of our family. That is anyone who had served during a time of war. It'd be male or female. We are actively recruiting, membership right now. The membership goes for quite a few things. And then we have our auxiliary, and the auxiliary is the spouses, the daughters and the granddaughters, mothers of a veteran who had served or is a Legionnaire himself or herself. And then we also have the SAL, which is the Sons of the American Legion, and they are the male descendants, the sons, the grandsons, the great-grandsons of anyone who served. So it was a program that was derived out of World War I and World War II, where whole communities were inundated to go to war. They come back, or they didn't come back, and the sons and the grandsons didn't have a male figure or a positive male figure to hang on to. So the SAL program was enacted so that we can bring them in and get them off the streets and straighten their lives up and make sure that they turn out right. And a lot of our SAL members eventually became Legionnaires themselves because they went and served. So
it's amazing hearing you say this because, again, I've grown up with the American Legion being here, but I think many people that are going to listen to this podcast, they may not have that full, not appreciation, but the full understanding of what even the American Legion is. I think some people think of it as a catering hall. Sometimes you'll see chicken barbecue, but it's like a mentorship. It's truly the embodiment of raising up the families of people who have served, and then in turn you're serving the community as well.
It's more than that, because a lot of guys, they get out of the military, or a lot of the family members leave military life and they go back to civilian world, and there's no basis, there's no ground. Unless they go back to their hometown and know the same people, there's no, they miss that brotherhood or sisterhood that you have in the military or the military families. So what we try to do is we continue that. We have our own fellowship that we do with each other. We have our monthly meetings and whatnot where we make decisions, but we have our fundraisers and we have our get-togethers and we have our outreaches that we do. We are so connected with the other not-for-profit veteran service organizations in the area, like Clear Path and the VFW and the VVA, the Vietnam Veterans Association. So we have this camaraderie between us, and we support all of our immediate veteran community, and then we outreach to our Eastwood American Legion community itself.
It becomes literally a family.
And it goes all the way up to national level. There's over 10,000 posts in the United States.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Now, give me a little backstory on the American Legion. And is it post 12, is it 1276?
Correct. We are post 1276. We are one of the oldest in Syracuse. Believe it or not, our charter was signed pretty early. I don't know how we got it signed, 1276 out of the 10,000, but in the area we were one of the largest legions in Syracuse. I think just in the 80s, I think they were tracking more than 1,500 members just for Legionnaires. So it was a pretty active post.
No, very active post here indeed here. So you tell me, what are some of the things that someone can expect out of the American Legion currently? I know, again, many people talk about it's wonderful. I think it's used as a fundraising tool. You have the bingo. You've used it as a fundraising thing.
It's our primary fundraiser.
Yeah, but what are some of the other things that an American Legion would provide for a community, or some of the different things right now currently throughout the year?
I'm going to take a step back real quick. There used to be more active organizations in Eastwood. Did we ever have a Kiwanis?
Didn't we at one time? Yeah,
We had Aquinas. We had the Knights of Columbus that did the Columbus Day Parade and those things. We had the Rotary Club. Are they active in Eastwood? I mean, they were meeting downstairs, with Michelle at her shop. But what I'm saying is there was a whole bunch of organizations here that used to be here in the history of Eastwood that has kept the place alive, and those are all gone away. So one of the things that we always do and what we are known for is our Memorial Day Parade.
Absolutely.
It has diminished over the years, but it used to be bigger. People don't even go out to the streets to the parades anymore, unless it's like Macy's Day Parade.
Yeah, I agree.
But we do what we do in our community. Yes, you mentioned bingo. We offer bingo. We usually get about 100 to 120 patrons in there for playing bingo. And we pay out over $4,500 a week in prizes, but it allows us the funds to be able to spread back into the community. I do have to remind you, we are a not-for-profit.
Yes.
So if at the end of the year our profit is $6, we had a great year. If our profit is $4, we had a great year, because whatever we take in and we don't use for operational costs, we pour back out as far as scholarships. We support the VA. We provided acupuncture beds. We provide the 8th floor and the 6th floor with better living arrangements than the hospital, the VA itself, can provide. Personal laptops and televisions and all those things. They've got permanent residences up there for these guys. They can't be, it's not safe for them to be by themselves. And so they're housed up there. And COVID's really hit everything hard because of visitation. So we're providing more funding so that they can maintain their quality of life, even up there at the VA, and their entertainment and their recreation. So
see, the stuff you're sharing is amazing. I hope the people that are listening to this are like taking it in, saying this is what you do. When they go by, they may just see a building. They don't realize the back of what's happening between all the men and the women that are part of the American Legion and all the different departments it has. 2023 again. I think word is a little bit out. It's been filtered a little bit through the news, social media, that a big thing's going to be happening with the American Legion when it comes to new location, which I like to believe that it will also be something where it will just provide a spark among people who can be a member to consider being a member, and then those that in the community to find a way to give of their time, their service, or donate. And that is, we're looking for this big relocation to what people, it was iconic me when I grew up, seeing the Friendlies building there. It's basically like the gateway of Eastwood. Coming up east, going west, you always noticed the Friendlies there on the right.
Right there at the top of the hill, right by the tower. You can't miss it.
You can't miss it. And this is being converted and remodeled right now to be the new home after it's been, almost 50 years on the current location?
1964.
So, yeah, so almost 60 years, and now it will have a new home. I like to believe more ADA compliant, easier to maintain, good amount of parking, and something that could be much more even easily recognizable for the community here. And I mean, again, I don't know what your thoughts are about the whole building, but it looks tremendous. Even when I go by, I can see the changes happening.
So if I can have a few words on that. We want to, again, thank you so much for allowing this opportunity to happen. I mean, us selling the building and then finding another location that would be conducive to our operations and still be accessible to the public here at Eastwood, it wasn't going to happen for us because there was nothing available on the market. So we've been in that building so long, it needs some major repairs. And again, we don't like to do a lot of operating costs, because what we spend in operating costs, we don't get to pour back into the community and the different functions that we support. So this is allowing us to be in a, and of course our membership has really gone downhill. The sad thing I'd like to say about our current building is it's been here so long, it fades into the background of Eastwood as people drive through. They don't even look at it twice. And we are limited because it is a historic building in a historic district. We can't put a digital sign out there that attracts the attention like they do up at Lincourt Fire Department, have a little sign up there. So we can't do those things to draw the attention to the building, and we have to be happy with the status quo, and that just isn't going to happen right now because people aren't as volunteering as they used to be and not involved in their community as they used to be. So we're going to look at this relocation as a new beginning for us. it's not just a re-image, it's also a reintroduction, or being reintroduced back into the community. Yes, we've been providing support for Eastwood since 1946. We were in the building, I think the barber shop or the cell phone store right next door is where we started out at, and then in
Amazing.
'64 we moved into the building and took over, and we were doing great things there. But then again, it's just we've been there so long. So the new building, we have new ideas for the new building. It's going to be right there at the head of the hill as you come up into Eastwood, or just as you're leaving. Nice big flagpole out front with the American flag flying from it. The operations that we plan to do out of there, of course, the hall is going to be renovated for, for receptions and whatnot, and we're going to still have our private club. But we're hoping to have car shows or car meets at least once a month, because I own classic cars, and I want to get my buddies in here. We're going to host a car show down there, or just a week every month. It's the old Friendlies building. Why can't we be known as the Friendly Post, the Friendly American Legion? So,
awesome.
What's wrong with doing a pancake breakfast? People are still looking for morning diners on the weekends. Or doing the old car hop thing with burgers and fries and shakes, because we're keeping some of the machinery there. So why can't we do that and invite the public in? I hope our grand opening is going to be huge. I want a band outside and everything. Hopefully
it should be amazing. No, I mean, see, now you have glass exposure on the new building. It was in the name. It can be the Friendly Post because of the fact that it actually gives a very friendly appearance. The current building was the former Taft School, so the thing is, it's very institutionalized, but it's not as much of a welcome center because of the lack of glass on the front. Now you have the parking right there, ADA compliant. I see vision coming out of you, and I think in turn it's going to spread. I think hopefully you will have a uptick in membership.
That's what I'm hoping for. I think with again, like I said, a reintroduction to the community, we can put display boards out there. I don't think veterans understand that we are looking not just for membership or involvement. Yes, we love volunteers. I pay $40 for my Legion membership. I pay $20 for my SAL membership because I'm a descendant of a veteran myself, so I'm a dual member. But I pay $60 a year to work that hard at that post, and it's uplifting for me. Even though I do my own business during tax season, it's only 4 months out of the year. The other 8 months of the year, I'm poured into my veteran family over there at the Legion, and everything that we can do to promote and support our community it's a continuation of my military service called selfless service.
It's exciting, and I know the pandemic did not help things when it came to getting people to meet one another, and even what I've known the American Legion the most for, it has been the parade, the Memorial Day parade, which again, we hopefully will be back on track this upcoming year with a new location. And I think with that new location, and because of the pandemic holding everyone down, I think we'll have a resurgence like we haven't had. It may be just the perfect recipe to seeing growth.
Absolutely.
In and through. So, I mean, again, I just want to just say by wrapping up that appreciate not only your service, I appreciate what you do for our American Legion locally, the men and women that have selflessly not only just given their time and their lives, but also on top of that for what you do for our community. You are right when it comes to the organizations that Eastwood has been built upon, all these wonderful nonprofits that right now there has been a little bit of a struggle. So for those that are still remaining, I tell people now's the time to regather, refocus, and really put out a vision, because in turn, I do believe, my personal belief is that if you build it, they will come. People in this community now, as we've heard from other business owners, they said, if you put out a great product, people are responding to it. So you're putting out your very best. I would like to believe that people will give you their very best as well. So thank you again for coming on the Stephen Skinner podcast. And obviously our next big probably announcement will be about when we do this awesome grand opening.
Absolutely. Well, and what I'm really looking forward to, and I know you want to wrap up, what I'm really looking forward to is the purpose of the digital sign out there is not just for our own promotion and for our own trying to get people in the community to join our organization and give back, but it's also going to be a great stand for other happenings that are going on in Eastwood. They can contact us and we will gladly advertise anything that's going on, because I want us to be the welcoming section into Eastwood from the west side.
It is, it's awesome, and that will, again, just furthers your commitment to build community together.
Absolutely.
So again, thank you so much, and we'll look forward to all the great things American Legion's going to do.
My absolute pleasure.
Awesome,
Thank you,
man.
sir.